And welcome to the York Hall in London's East End, this famous old fight arena playing host once again to the exciting group of young boxers dubbed the Real Class of 2002. As always, there's a good atmosphere here at Bethnal Green, and here's what we've got coming up for you in the next 45 minutes. Super middleweight Carl Froch, one of the hottest prospects around, 2 wins out of 2. Welterweight David Walker is back in action. He was involved in one of the scraps of the year against Paul Dyer last time out. And also coming up, we'll see heavyweight Mark Potter. He could be in line to meet Audley Harrison at some point. So it's super middleweight action for us first. It's a division that Britain, of course, has a great tradition in. We have one of the current champions, Joe Calzaghe, and our own Richie Woodall, a former champion. Carl Froch, a bronze medalist at last year's World Championships in Belfast. Darren Covill is the opponent. He's 32 from Welling in Kent. Let's go ringside and join Richie Woodall and first Jim Neely.
One can only speculate what might have happened had Carl the Cobra Froch, the man in the silver grey trunks and almost leopard skin print, had he stayed on for another year in the amateur ranks, regarding what might have happened in the Commonwealth Games in Manchester. And that's not to take anything away from the excellent performance by England's middleweight Stephen Birch, who finished up with a silver medal. And I'm sure Richie Woodall, who's beside me, would agree that I think Carl Froch, had he been in Manchester as a middleweight, would have skated through that division.
Yeah, I think so. He's certainly got a lot of class. We've seen him obviously in his first couple of contests, very impressive, and Froch, it'll take a good kid to beat him, but here Covill's coming at the last minute, so we'll see how he goes this time around.
Well, the original opponent for Carl Froch in this, his third professional contest, was to have been cruiserweight Paul Bonson, who was vastly experienced, a man who'd never been stopped in his career and was probably about 2 stones heavier than Froch. As it is, Froch is actually about ½ a pound underneath the normal super middleweight limit. Since it's a non-title fight, but I'm a little bit surprised that Froch has come in as light as this.
Well, yeah, he's obviously a dedicated kid, keeps in the gym, and certainly when I was boxing at super middle, I never really went too much above the actual weight, so he's obviously a dedicated trainer. But he's not a middleweight. There's no way he can get down to 11.6. And look at him here, absolutely excellent stuff, body and head from Froch. This is excellent work early on.
About wonderful power against the man who's in his 38th professional contest. And Darren Covill will not want to take too many shots like that into the ribs. He's won 6 of his 8 victories inside the distance, but he's been stopped 10 times in his career. And Carl Froch is threatening to inflict stoppage number 11 against Darren Covill in this, the opening round. Covill, to be fair to him, did take this at very short notice, and he's a career heaviest at just over 12 stones. But he's giving away a couple of inches to Froch, who really does look the part. That was a terrific slicing right hand, and the referee stepped in and he stopped it. With a minute to go to the end of the first round, it looked so lazy and so easy and so casual, and he brought that across, and it was all about timing and all about the angle. And Froch's timing was perfect, the angle was perfect. It was an absolutely delightful shot. It looked as though it was almost in slow motion, and there was nothing that the unfortunate Darren Covill could have done with that. So a conciliatory hug from Carl Froch, but he really has looked so impressive. That's the 3rd professional victory by Carl Froch. Last time out, he stopped the very experienced O.J. Abrahams, who was having his 60th professional contest, and now he stopped Darren Covill having his 38th, and he did it in terrific fashion. He caught the man to the ribs, and the finish was spectacular.
Oh, excellent right hand, a little short chopping right hand here, just teeing him up with the jab, and then he comes across, and there it is, and that's a slashing shot, and I think it was a little bit high on the head as well, probably around the forehead area. No recovering from a shot like that. Lovely slashing punch.
Beautifully delivered right on the side of the temple, and Darren Covill had to stagger and he had to hold on to the ropes. And Rob McCracken, who was involved in a few cracking contests himself, will be pleased with that.
The referee calls a halt to the action. In his opinion, Darren Covill in no position to continue. The winner, and still undefeated, 3 rings out, 3 contests, Carl the Cobra Froch.
There'll be harder, tougher men as the road gets harder for Carl Froch, and he may have to go, certainly apart from super middleweights, and there are not too many in Britain I think will want to face him at the moment. He may have to go in against cruiserweights or light heavyweights, but Carl Froch certainly, as we've said many times before, certainly looks the business, and that was a very impressive finish by him, irrespective of the quality of the opposition.
Carl, well done. That was another very easy win for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've made it very easy. Just letting go of fast, hard combinations, just worked him down. My original opponent, he pulled out with the flu, so he came in a little bit late, to be fair, but I mean, you've seen it for yourself, you can't take the power, so it was all over.
You're winning them very quickly, so what are you actually learning as a pro? Because you're in and out of the ring in double quick time.
That's right, that's right. I'm learning a lot as a pro with the sparring and the training, and all the stuff that I go through with my excellent trainer, Robert McCracken. He teaches me everything I need to know. So going through here, even though it's quick, you're still going through the motions, you're coming out here, you're in the ring, and you're just going through the routine, and it's all good experience.
And a final question, you are going to have to step it up another level sooner rather than later, aren't you?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm looking to become British champion within the next 18 months. That's my target, and I really do strongly believe I can do that.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you, cheers.